Hello once again, everybody. Hope you've been having a nice little break there as we've transitioned from one run to another. This is the GDQ Quick Hotfix, and this is Sonic and the Sidekicks. This is our theme for this year's Sonic and the event. I'm sure you've heard the explanation a few times if you've been sticking around, but it doesn't harm to go through it one more time. We are seeing some Sonic here and there, but we're trying to avoid him if we can. We are showing off categories that mainly focus on other characters from around the series, which is where my heart lies. Like, Sonic's cool, but the cast of the Sonic games is so good. And the cast of these runs, the cast of all of the, all the talent that we've got, all of the different Sonic games that we've got, there's an even cooler cast of characters that do all of the different hotfixes and what we've got going on this channel. So just as one thing that's going to be coming up soon is the annual Juneteenth celebration. That's going to be happening between June the 22nd and the 23rd. You can use ! Juneteenth in the Twitch chat to check out the schedule. Now, I could do the classic like YouTuber trope where, there's a copy of Sonic 06 behind me and, it jump scares me and you say, oh, we've now got to tackle this game. But I'm hoping that we have got a runner and a commentator here that are going to break the conventions of the enjoyment that we can get out of Sonic 06. It scares a lot of people. It doesn't scare a speedrunner because there is so much that can be taken out of this game. I don't want to do any injustice to this, so I'm going to let these two dedicated runners talk about this game. Lab, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I have been thoroughly enjoying the start of day 2, and I know that I owe you a silver run at some point, so you're gonna do
that is
some more.
True.
I know it's a different category, but I'm gonna let you do a little more selling of the silver boy to us because he's pretty cool.
All right. Welcome to Sonic 06. I'll be running Silver Story, no credits for it. Joining me on commentary is Focus.
Hi, hello. I'm Focus Side, otherwise known as Focus. Some of you may recognize me from having run this a few times in GDQ Hotfixes and once at GDQ 2020. And I think, honestly, we had the best runner currently active for this category. Labrys is going to give you an amazing run and show you exactly how broken and amazing this game is as a speedrun. So I'm happy to be commentating behind them.
Oh, thanks. Well, Silver is a wonderful guy with a lot of, as intended, a lot of puzzles, a lot of object manipulation to get to certain areas. It's a much slower style of gameplay, but the speedrun turns it on its head. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
So at the start of the run, we are thrown into this post-apocalyptic future where there's Silver and Blaze and this big old Iblis guy causing problems. All you need to know, the whole city's on fire. We're going to immediately start by using a glitch called Telethrow, which is the bread and butter of Silver's game. Stand on a rock or any object at a sufficiently steep angle. You can throw the rock after lifting it, and you can go pretty much anywhere you want. That's about
Nicely done.
That's
That was a great first section.
That's about 2 or 3 minutes of casual gameplay condensed into about 14 seconds.
We'll see that a lot here in Silver's story, just for reference.
Yeah, it's everywhere, including here. For a very long time, we used to play as Blaze, but unfortunately, her trigger, you can go around it. And what I did there was I performed a couple levitation extensions. Those are frame-perfect tricks where I hold the stun slap or X button. The frame my levitation ends, so I can carry some speed from the levitation into where I'm falling, and I can also recharge my meter while that's happening. So it can give me the ability to cross very large distances that normally wouldn't be possible in just hovering.
Yeah, because almost everything Silver does is limited by his action gauge.
Yep.
Which is at the bottom right for reference. Yeah, telethrow is a super important trick throughout Silver's story. It was only found in 2020. I found it on accident, and yet it is now this fundamental meta-defining trick in 06 for Silver's story, where it's easy to learn but hard to master.
Yep.
And as you'll see, we're now moving on the results screen. The reason for that is because if you switch characters and then don't hit a checkpoint within the stage at all, if it's not the character you started that section with, because it starts as Blaze because it expects you to be Blaze previously, it'll allow you to do stuff on the results screen, which allows us to get that one up, and we actually now have 6 lives going into the first boss.
Nice.
Iblis, the big old guy I mentioned earlier. Iblis is 12 HP. We're going to need to actually use Silver's quirky combat mechanic to aid us in defeating this enemy. I just need to throw 4 groups of 3. This is harder than it looks. I have to space my throws out as to not explode them on the boss, because as they make contact with the boss, they also explode, which can explode your next incoming object. You can get a little early damage here. Nice.
Oh, that was really well done. I've actually never seen someone throw it that time. I'd usually throw all 3 of mine earlier when you did the first one. That was really well done.
And that's a great time.
Yeah, sub 40 is amazing. And as you can see, when you pick up objects as Silver, you have to be cautious of which one you pick up in what order, because you'll throw them in the order you pick them up. So if you have an object that when it circles around you, it's behind another object you picked up later, it'll try to throw forward and then bounce off that object. It can sometimes lead to you missing your target, or even if there's like one explosive object and the others can be exploded, if that one accidentally hits the others, you might just lose all your ammo to combat with.
Yep.
It's unfortunate when it does happen. Suddenly, we're in a forest. Reason being, we got thrown into the future, tasked with hunting down Sonic. Because that guy ruined everything, apparently.
Yeah.
Teenagers, what can I tell you?
I mean, we've been trying to get rid of him for this event, so I think the fact that we need to hunt him down is appropriate.
Yeah.
Love me some 2 different types of ellipses. Delicious, delicious bad text editing.
Delicious.
This game has everything.
So yeah, this trick is used pretty much everywhere, even in the hub world, as you can see. We're going to use it to go across because it's way faster than Silver can walk or move on his own.
Yeah.
And that allows us to get here to Tropical Jungle, and I'll let Lab take it from here for a quick stage.
Yeah, this stage is very fast. Kind of blink and you'll miss it. But thankfully, rocks aren't the only thing you can kind of tilt in order to get a telethrow angle on. Because if you're standing on flat ground, or parallel to flat ground, you're not going to get a telethrow. And you can't really stand on a wall. You have to be somewhere in the middle. I'm going to break that wall. But we can tilt this box, so it becomes a nice uphill surface for us to skip the level.
Nice.
Very well done. Didn't even need to unlock the cage that has the goring in it.
Nope.
Looks like I'm on a roll.
I don't think we ever have for a while.
No, because the funny thing is even if you get hit by it, your invincibility frames will allow you to walk under it.
Yep. Silver is incredibly short. Rouge cannot do that, but Silver can. I'll be doing a little bit of walking under things after this level.
Now here you're you've just held X previously, right? And now you're letting go of X.
I wish I did.
Oops.
Whoops. Thankfully, this is back.
There's something called breakout you can do at the start of stages, which is this. Basically, if you hold a button as you start a stage, you're able to then do that input first frame if you let go on the last load screen in. And now he's going to do something here called cave skip. A loop launch that allows us to get all the way over to this part of the stage. Basically, a homing attack with is a property of Blaze's homing attack and Sonic's homing attacks. If they miss their target, they will continue on perpetually until they hit some form of geometry or hit the death plane. We angle ourselves there in order to get as far into the stage as possible. We hit an invisible wall and land back in bounds. That saves quite a lot of time.
Yes.
And we're pretty much at the end of the stage. There is another strat you could do that is slightly faster, but it actually involves you standing earlier in the stage. Like, you fling yourself earlier in the stage, build up speed on a rail, and do something called the Advanced Fire Claw, which we'll get back to in a little bit in the run. And this is what the stages are like in 06 for Silver Story. Very fast. Sometimes the loading screens are longer than the stages themselves.
Yeah, it's often a nice repose after like really high intensity stuff. I'll toss this next one on over to Focus here.
So we're going to be going into and seeing maybe there's some people we can talk to in the town. We'll figure that out. But at this point, normally in the stage, you're supposed to do a mission to then unlock the portal to Dusty Desert, but the devs didn't realize that didn't think you could get into that room because they put a lot of invisible walls around it, but we actually can. We're playing here as Silver with Amy behind us. We're going to do something called the lift exploit. So if you have a nice ceiling, like a flat ceiling, and you have a flat enough object underneath it, by lifting the object, the same thing we do before we telethrow, you're able to then clip through ceilings and such. If the actual physical dimensions are nice. So we're going to see Lab here pushing this flat against this door, and then standing in the corner. That'll put it up through, and then we can go through, touch the Dusty Desert mirror, because they did not actually remove this warp, and therefore we skip that entire mission and all the load screens in between, leading us to Dusty Desert, which is, who would have thought, another stage where we use telethrow to do some cool stuff.
And no, it's usually so indoors. Like, you wouldn't think that you'd have the open space enough to do a significant telethrow, but
you'll see right here.
Yeah.
You'll see right here. So we're going to do something called, we're going to use the lift exploit again to get out of bounds here via this door. Normally you need to defeat these enemies and do some stuff with some balls in order to actually unlock this door, but instead we're going to just wait for the pot here to get back on this flat bottom. We're going to jump through. We're going to get out of bounds here, pick up this pot, move over, and we're going to let it get pushed through by one of the sand waves. So normally we can't actually manipulate these objects directly, so we just need to wait for them to rotate to the right steepness, which is easier said than done. Because
that's not good.
Yeah, that's not a great angle, but we can fix this. There we go. It's bad. It's a bit more flat. Yeah, it's a little bit hard because again, it's just at the whims of the I
don't trust it.
Yeah, redo that one. So you actually don't manipulate the objects themselves. They have they spin to a natural neutral position, which for these pots usually is on their side, like straight parallel to the horizontal. So you actually just you're kind of at the whim of the physics engine, but not too much really. It's easier than it looks, but sometimes you can get some bad positioning. So yeah, you want to let it wait a bit, stand there. That's a good position.
That's
you get a
great.
good steepness here, and then you can telethrow. You need to be careful not to go too high, otherwise you're going to hit the ceiling, which has a death plane,
For some reason.
but also the side has a death plane. That scared me, but there you go. That's Dusty Desert.
Nice.
What used to be a stage that took 2 minutes 30 seconds, even doing a bunch of skips, and takes way longer casually. Yeah, 43 seconds.
Yep.
It's an incredibly quick stage, and one of my favorites to show off. Because yeah, everyone hates that infamous ball puzzle. We still skip it. We're ball puzzle skippers here, just not in the way you'd think.
No. Amy too.
Yeah, all of Amy. We did that previously, and that still took 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Yeah, it was definitely a long one while I was first learning the category. Now we have the guy in question as a boss, the unman of the hour, Sonic.
Ooh,
Yeah, this
Wow.
guy.
at least
First-
Sorry for the jump scare, everyone. We should have put a warning.
Yeah, no, sorry about it. But at least we get to pelt him with furniture.
Let's go.
Beautiful, beautiful Venice.
Yep.
Fun part about this boss, actually, is that we don't want to be too quick. Because, as you'll see here, we want to avoid the S rank. And the best way to avoid so the S ranks are add an additional gold medal animation at the end of stages, which for no credits warp we don't want, because we just want to get through it as quick as possible. And so it's actually faster to get a 13-second time, pick up no rings, and get the A rank immediately. Otherwise, any faster time will automatically give you an S rank, which means you need to get a 7-second boss, which is possible, but
It's
difficult
been done.
in RTA. It has been done. I think 5 seconds is the IL world record, but
Yeah, it's barely sub 6, but
yeah, very difficult to do because it's dependent upon. You have so many objects that you just need every one of them to hit, and some of them to hit multiple times in one, which is not predictable in the space of an RTA. So it's much easier to take the A rank.
No. Yeah. Coming up, we have an upgrade skip. We've had a mission skip so far, and now we skip one of the quote-unquote required upgrades for reasons not just because it's faster to get to the White Acropolis this way, but it also would hamper us later into the run. The shock bracelet is usually an upgrade that's very useful casually. It creates an area of effect that basically acts like a ground pound and stuns any enemy within its radius, effectively allowing you to pick up just about any enemy and throw them at other enemies. And it makes combat a lot cleaner. But do this. Don't ask
One
me.
of my favorites.
Because I don't know either.
I found that on Christmas Day, I believe, in like 2021, and because we used to get a box that was more so in the center of the city, so we were just walking for longer. The sign right there works, and it's beautiful. We used to do the lift exploit, but now we just do that.
Yeah, it's a lot more quality of life, honestly.
Everyone say goodbye to Blaze. This will be the last time we see her as a playable character in this run.
Unfortunately, my headcanon is that she gets hypothermia because she's pyrotechnic. She just freezes to death and becomes incapacitated for the rest of the run.
She's still part of the plot.
She's still part of the plot. I swear. She is useful, but you just never get to play as her ever again.
So Lapier's going to set up we're going to try to manipulate this automation so we go through it as fast as possible. So we're going to take a sharp left turn there. I guess it's a right turn for her. And then we're going to set up to try to do something called the Advanced Fire Call. This is what I mentioned earlier. Basically, if you build up speed and then hold the X button, jump and let go and activate it on the same frame. Couldn't quite get it. But it's a way to store speed as Blaze in her spinning claw, and it's called the Advanced Fire Call because misnomers. And it normally in this section would allow us to skip having to do combat on these enemies with all these bombs, but even then, still sub 1. Very good for no AFC.
Yeah, no. The AFC would allow us to preserve speed all the way over to the door where you can clip through the corner. But we'll see.
Very annoying trick, I'll say.
We'll see a theme of going very fast at corners throughout the back half of this run.
And 06 in general, to be fair.
Yeah.
Especially like Shadow Story. Okay, pretty good angle.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is a little bit tight. There's a very confined area here, so in order to try to get through with telethrowing, it's pretty difficult, just because it's very easy to hit these breakable objects you have on the sides, and then that was a very nice takeout of that enemy.
Yeah,
using breaking the rock into multiple pieces to have the 4 hits needed to eliminate it. We're now going to set up for another telethrow here. Being very careful not to hit the enemies there. Oh my.
Yeah, that was a bit dicey, but we're out.
That was well navigated, I'll say. This is how pioneers used to ride these babies back in the good old days.
Yeah, that rock doesn't have a nice set orientation when you have to move it over, so you kind of have to improvise for that one. Luckily, we got out of it without having to walk too much. Coming up, we have our third boss of 5, Egg Genesis. Silver can only hold 20 objects at a time, and this guy takes 24 hits to kill. So we do a little bit of cycle manipulation because you only get objects every so often. In the form of the missiles that Egg Genesis throws at you. We're going to pick some up. Detach one arm. And another. I'm gonna throw 5 instead of the usual 6. The 6, drop everything we have so we can pick these up. Hey! And, oh no, it's a self-destruct sequence that's actually purely cinematic and you cannot lose a life to whatsoever. You just run into him. Nothing happens.
Well, you can if you jump into it again.
Maybe.
Don't do that, but...
No. I would rather not.
Very good Egg Genesis time, by the way. Anything sub 45 is really good in my book.
Yeah, no, that's a great time. Mid 44. Now for Amy. It's the only time we see her. We physically cannot skip her, no matter how hard we try through a sequence break or some such. You have to play this mission. And trust me when I tell you, I am moving as fast as I can, and I am acting as soon as I can out of every attack. Just go with me on this one. I swear.
So fast-paced. Love the speed.
The speed.
So this is Amy. She exists in this game.
Yeah.
Hib,
Yeah.
any questions that you might want to field from the audience for the next minute or so?
Let's have a look. Well, I mean...
Other than, why do you play this? Because I'm not answering that.
Yes, it is fun.
It's a great speedrun. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
Okay. Somebody's wondered whether this is the one mission that's faster on PS3.
It is.
Oh, it is. Yes, because that box we just hit explodes on its own on PS3 due to the way that rendering happens, as well as another box up top on the roof that explodes and releases 2 spike balls due to the way in which PS3 loading and in its what's it called, draw distance is different on PS3 than 360.
Yeah, it's
the reason why PS3 is better, or sorry, the reason why 360 is better overall is because it's the only one where you can download the game to console without using hacks. Although now we allow people to download to console on PS3 because we use loadless timing, so that doesn't matter anymore. Generally, though, even then, 360 has a few glitches that PS3 patched out, and 360 performance is generally more stable. So still, the preference is 360.
Yeah. Now we're going to get the only upgrade in the game, in the run, rather. There are many more upgrades in the game, but this is the only upgrade that we get in the run, and it makes silver very fast without the assistance of an object. The Heart of Wind is a very short but very, very fast teleport dash that propels you forward for about 10 frames. But if you press the X button right as on the frame it ends, you can extend it for as long as you're holding X.
This is actually the same exact reason why the levitation extension works. It is essentially this state, because everything in 06 works in the sense of putting a character into a certain state. State 62, I believe, is the number, and it has this weird property where it is like holding the stun slap in midair, and it has this very strange property of maintaining momentum for anything that is threaded into it at the right frame. So that includes hovering, that includes that includes teleport dashes, anything.
Also, we skipped a mission.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah.
Another required mission that we skipped.
Yeah. Ironically, it's about sneaking into the station when we do that anyway.
It is. And best tele throw in the game, everyone. Ready for Sonic Riders? Who would have thought? Sonic Riders, baby.
Let's go. He's so good at riding. Who knew?
Nice, got the
nice
SCTD as well. So the reason we skipped the shock bracelet specifically was so that we can hold down the X button and preserve that speed for longer.
Ooh.
The shock bracelet is done by holding, the shock bracelet works by holding down X. So if we didn't skip that, we couldn't do the long drift forward that we have there, which makes it way faster for silver in this category.
Yeah. Also makes a lot of clips much more reliable in the process. 22 is actually really great for a time. And now we have Shadow. You gotta fight this guy too. Oh boy. Unlike Sonic, where there are plenty of objects to go around, Shadow has almost nothing. Barely enough to kill. So let's hope we can get some good dashes in. Oh no.
Oh, I've just seen somebody in the chat mention zero gravity. We're going to be seeing that at the end of the day. So if that's your kind of spice, then make sure you stick around.
Yeah. I think Jill is running in?
Yes, indeed. We have got Dill on the...
Oh,
wait
that's
for that.
Oh,
Yeah,
another those
maybe.
hit. Oh, be careful.
Oh, wait.
Oh, he didn't homing attack you.
Shadow
Shadow has like a cycle of attacks he normally does, but I guess he didn't do them there.
Yeah.
He's turned into, obviously, Red Shadow.
Red Shadow.
His boss is quite annoying to get right, because the additional thing is that the barrels also function as, like, points to set, like, on, like, stand on. So if you hit throw in a certain way, it might launch him, like, Shadow upwards, and therefore mean that all your other hits don't properly hit. It's a very finicky boss fight to get right, and 52 is all right.
Yeah, it's fine.
You take what you serve, you know?
Yeah, no, the Shadow is just, sometimes it just happens. Yeah, I'm not particularly bent out of shape about it. Oh, but you know who is bent out of shape about it?
Oh, here we go.
That's cutscene in the game.
Chaos control.
Whoop.
Wait.
Anyway.
That's the entire cutscene. There's no other part of that cutscene, obviously.
Nope.
No.
Product base, there is surprisingly no telethrow here. There's a lot of SCTs.
Not at all. It's the one stage.
Oh.
And we're going to let Labrys... This is a 4-minute stage casually. This first part, at least.
Yeah, the first half, you have to play as Shadow. You have to do a bunch of stuff as Shadow.
A laboratory like this? Under solar
We just go out the back door.
Okay, so we go out the back here. This is the final room of the first section.
Yep.
These enemies look like they're guarding that door. Let's start by getting rid of them.
No!
Oh,
No!
A laboratory.
Oh, the dog's got you.
Yeah.
That's a shame. But yeah, no, this is a very funny
doing
first
this.
section. Yeah, there we go. Be safe.
Start by getting rid of them.
We just need to defeat the enemies here. And
I
that
like
is
that
literally...
hit.
Good luck. That was good that you did that, though. And now just walk. There you go. For a 15-second first section, it normally takes 4 minutes or more for that first section.
Yeah, there's a whole lot to do in Aquatic Base. Apparently, the legend has it. Second half's a bit more involved. We're gonna clip out through this corner here. We can hit the funny frame. At a weird angle, but
Yeah.
Normally
When
we
you do
wanna
an
land.
SCTD, you normally lose like more and more height the longer it goes on, because it's just gravity going in at that point. And also, Lab is playing Super Monkey Ball right now, which we do have later in the marathon, I know. So there you go.
yep. And now for open clip. Okay. Wait, no, there's a pause. here.
Yeah. You're gonna do it again? Oh.
I'm not gonna do it again. Again. But we can clip to the store.
These enemies look like they're guarding that
nice.
door. Let's start
Nice little
by
backup.
getting rid of them.
Ow.
Bonk.
Yes, you can stand on the lasers. Sometimes it's very helpful to us in
So
a
we're gonna use
product.
the stun slap here. I guess that's a good thing to mention.
Yeah, a lot. This is one of 2 required combat sections that you have to do with Silver. To spawn a gold ring. And these birds are what determines your time in the stage. By time, I mean how good of a time you're having.
Yeah, the birds stun themselves if they run into anything. If they dive into anything, they stun themselves. You can pick them up, and then you just pick up basically everything you can and unleash it on the last enemy, which is brutal, but it's how you do.
Yeah. What happens when you have 5 HP? And now we get kind of a break. We have 4 missions coming up. First of which is Anna. We're supposed to protect her, apparently. For she has the secret. I don't know what the secret is. Also, it wouldn't be much of a secret now, would it?
True.
So Silver is hopefully going to stop, according to him. And do note that Castletown is the longest load screen in the game.
That was longer than I remember it being. For reference, I actually retired from 06 about a year ago, and so it's very nice to be rooting on Labrys here. You all should go support him and what he does. He's an incredible runner, does a lot of different Sonic games. I'm just very glad that I can see someone who truly has the silver crown now, I would say.
Oh. So,
anyways, we're going to protect Anna by not protecting Anna. Can you let us know how?
Yeah, we could just walk away from our problems. Here, we're not going to solve anything. We're not going to do any combat. We'll walk away. Walk this away. And as long as there aren't any enemies in front of Anna, he's not going to stop running. So this is actually optimal. Or really, really close. When she gets a bit farther into her path, we're going to try and spawn an enemy behind her so that she runs a little bit faster. Nothing like a little motivation to get your escort mission done a little faster. Ooh.
Yeah, you can see her in the very big background there, but you don't want to spawn in the enemies for too long, because otherwise that'll make her stop at certain points, and even sometimes return to an earlier point if you're not at the right place. But now we get a decent amount of time to just mess around. So again, anyone who wants to mention any Ask an 06 runner, a live AMA, any questions or any comments are welcome at this point.
We're definitely getting a lot of love for Lab, which is understandable. We mentioned it already, but Lab runs pretty much any game in the adventure era, and to a really good standard. So if you do enjoy the adventure era, definitely do check out Lab. People were wondering why Amy was made the way that she was.
The game is half baked.
Yeah,
that's it. The game is half baked.
Yeah,
unfortunately, and Amy is one of those playstyles that just didn't get enough time in the oven.
No.
Yeah.
She has a cool double jump, where if you pause buffer, pause an A, you can then get 2 double jumps worth of height, which is, as far as I'm aware, useless. But it's a thing you can do.
It unfortunately, it kills all your horizontal momentum. Not that you had that much anyways, but
it's only vertical, pretty much. We should just call that the Amy Rocket. Frankly.
The Amy Rocket.
Somebody asked whether you folks have a favorite Sonic game to play relaxed and not in a speedrun sense.
Generations.
For me, I speedrun so many games. I really did like my time with Sonic Adventure DX. Most of it, anyways. Sorry, Big.
That's where Amy was good. That was a good Amy.
That was a good Amy.
I love Amy's story speedruns as well, which I think, again, we do have one of those, don't we?
Yes, we've got a little Knuckles Amy Gamma block later on in the day. Which
Gamma is also a wonderful story in SADX.
Yeah.
And I will mention really quickly that Omega is pretty good in this game as well. Funnily enough, Omega is the fastest character in terms of walk speed in 06.
Yep.
Fastest walking speed in the entire game. You can clip out of bounds just by running.
Let's go.
So normally here, previously before loadless happened, the fastest way to get through this was not to do any of these missions and instead do a bunch of levitation extensions up geometry that you could barely see and had to feel out.
It looks different anyways. Yep.
I used to do that. I learned that pretty well, and then it became obsolete because without the load times, it's actually faster to do all the missions back to back, which is so funny. This mission, mission 16, we have to rescue Blaze in a test of friendship, and so by rescuing her, we're just going to ignore the enemies that she's in ultimate peril of and do that. That was clean. Wow, that was fast. I've never seen a sub 10 in a run.
Yeah, the box is very fast. So sometimes you just have to create your own corner in order to click through it.
Yeah. Needs to be set pretty properly, though, otherwise it will go through, like, around the box.
Or you'll
which you do not
explode
want.
The box, which is also
that too.
undesirable.
I usually used, when I ran, I usually used the metal box instead, which is to your left.
Yeah.
Because that tends to be less exploded.
Yeah, I'd be worried if it would.
Who knows? I mean, to be fair, it can be broken by red shadows, so ooh, watch out.
Whoa.
Red shadow, hater of metal.
Yep, and rocks.
And rocks, it's true. Both of these things are true.
We like rocks. Sometimes.
This is the test of memory.
Yeah,
the memory is right, left.
Yep, that's it.
Nice.
This is a 3-second IL spread out over a minute.
Because of load screens. So this is the main mission that made trial skip faster in when we used RTA as the main timing method.
Yeah, you can't speed this up any more than I'm doing it. Well, maybe a little bit, but
you just want to get through the mission.
it's like get me out of here, man. Hey, I got the answers right. Woohoo! The multiple choice test that we know the answers to every time. Thankfully, the answers don't change.
Yeah, they are the same every time. Because imagine you'd have to get what? You have a 1/8 chance.
Yeah, you have 1/8.
Yeah, you have a 1/8 chance of getting it right.
Oh goodness!
First try.
And if you go through the wrong portal, you fail the mission, which takes, I don't know, it takes a while. It takes
you
30.
to a fail screen where you talk to another guy, and then it takes you out of the mission, back to the hub world, and then you have to start from the very beginning again, which includes the little text at the start.
Yeah.
So this is probably the most complex of the 3 missions. It's combat without any objects. So we use weapon projectiles we get from enemies to destroy them or stunning them. So I'll let Lab take it from here.
So we're going to walk forward in order to try and get a certain number of missiles out of these.
Yeah. I think they range from 2 to 3 per enemy for the white ones.
Yep. We got 3 from one of them, so that's good. Sometimes
there are leaders as well.
Leaders, yep. And if
you eliminate them, you eliminate everyone around them, which then brings up the radical, which is exactly what I think of when I take out a leader.
Yeah, radical. Ooh, I'm low on ammo there. Ooh.
Oh no! Oh. Yeah, the big guys will not normally die in one hit unless you hit them with their specific weapon.
Yeah, it's strange.
And even then, sometimes it'll just stun them. But if you hit them with their weapons that they throw out, they will actually die in one hit, or should, but it's a little bit finicky at times.
Yeah.
54? 52.
With that mishap, normally you're supposed to clear out all the white robots before you take on the rest, but I was a bit low on ammo going into that final wave, so I had to improvise a little bit, but 52 is still great for what I had to do. Coming up is Silver's flashy but ultimately punishing endgame.
Save.
Save, yes. Absolutely. Because if I do not save there, it will take me to, I think, before mission 14.
It will. Yep, so this is what 11 years of Sonic 06 knowledge looks like when you pass it on to someone else Zelo.
Just save, please.
By the way, 2 hours of load screens in the 100% run. In this run, I think it's 15 minutes for the
around
time,
15, yes.
So we're going to do a trick called telelaunch to start here. So another tele thing, it's based off a telefling. Basically, if you pick up an object, as if you're from afar while on top of it, it will try to rotate around you. You can then throw it and then use the lift to put that momentum all into the air, and we'll use that to get on top of the entire stage like that. So essentially, you are lifting a thrown object. So that momentum it normally gets when it's thrown, you know, it goes really fast forward, is then channeled upward instead. And because of that, we can then use the height to skip the entirety of this section, which we need to because there are normally death planes on the other side.
Yeah, they're surprisingly tall.
It is, and I'm glad you got that first try, even if you didn't get the SCTD after. The SCTD is fastest to get after that, because you do have to travel some distance, but getting it first try matters still a lot. Normally in this next section, we'd have to go through and play as Sonic, which, doing that, I don't know about that for Sonic and the Sidekicks. We're instead going to do something called Sonic Skip. So, whoopee! Lab is going to is going to set up this this box here on this pillar until he gets just the right steepness and just the right angle to stand on the face that is opposite here. And then we're going to throw consecutively from here until the end of the stage. We need to be very careful of invisible walls, and we need to angle ourselves just properly. So another thing about telethrow, your facing direction will actually impact how it's thrown. But you still need to hold towards the object the entire time. That was well done.
Nice.
This is the final part of the stage, right here. We just land into it and we stun the enemies. We normally do this as well, actually, we would. Funnily enough, this is actually normally done as silver. Get a ring, get a ring, get a ring.
Yep.
Thank you. This normally is done as silver, but if we were not doing Sonic Skip, we would actually skip silver again and do Sonic. And there, that's it. That's it. That saves so much time because we don't have to go through and bother with Sonic stuff. Well done there, Lab. That's impressive.
Looks like
Yeah.
I'm on a roll.
The minutiae of telethrow, though, it's like, it really is just like you need to face one direction and then remove your control stick to, when you throw towards where the face is.
You want to
So, like,
remove your control stick?
no, move, reset, you know.
I know what
Not
you're
remove your control stick, although basically it feels like you're doing that with how quickly you're spinning it.
saying. Okay.
I assure you,
And
mine
we now get Flame Core here. This is a bit of the 10th part of the run, so I'll be handling commentary for Lab if Lab doesn't mind.
I don't mind at all.
Yeah, this is the hard part, because we're going to do a similar setup here. We're going to do a similar setup here at the start of Flame Core Section 1. There's a lot of lava, and the lava hurts to walk on, so we need to be careful. Very annoying stage, because there's a lot of things that can kill you, but we're actually going to use this capsule, and then we're going to get the box back after it falls. Where'd it fall? There we go. And we're going to rest it on the spent ring capsule here to get the same angle, the ideal angle. You don't want it too steep, because if it's too steep, you can't stand on it. But if it's too shallow, you can't get enough height. The height that you get from a telethrow is a matter of two factors. One, how steep the slope you stand on will give you more height, and the direction you face will essentially alter whether you want height or distance in a certain direction. And that allows us to skip all the way to this, almost the end of the stage here. Trying to get an SCTD. Ooh, I saw that enemy. They were thinking they were doing something special to mess you up. And then we get to the end part here. Gonna jump around these guys and just hover up to here. Full hover. Don't know how that didn't hit you.
Me neither.
We need to be careful with these random Cocoa Puffs, as we call them, meteors, because they can hit you even on this automated section, but fortunately they did not.
Okay. That's the last thing I want to have happen is just play another minute of Flame Core.
Well, with Silver, at least you can hover back towards the platform. If you're Sonic or Shadow there, tough luck.
Yeah, no, I've been pumped all three characters. It's wonderful. I don't recommend.
We're going to... so Lab does a set of strats that is kind of like aquatic base. No telethrows, no... especially because there are some telethrows in here, but they're not exactly ideal. And they're a little bit difficult to get properly. And honestly, the strats from like 2015 are still pretty good for this. It's more consistent, and so that's what we're going to be doing for the marathon's sake. We do have some... So I mentioned Telefling, which is standing on an object as we go like up through it. We're going to do that here, although these are very weird objects to do. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
No, I don't do that.
I got mistaken.
It is very cool. You can ride on one of these spheres.
Little glowy orb, but it's still fat. I was mistaken. I do apologize, lad.
Nah, you're fine.
Basically, you can do that occasionally on that orb, and it will sometimes get you the path you want, but not always, so I can see why Lab would take a safer route.
Okay, let's move on.
We're going to SCTD to over through here and clip through this door because we have enough speed with the teleport dash. Now the giant puff, and we're going to use our invincibility frames we get from getting hit in the air. It will glow red, and then it's going to unleash a fire wave. That will hit us regardless of where we are. And so we pick up this, and then we're going to skip having to even do anything with the door here, having to open it or do any of the other parts. And we're going to do something called Teleslide, which is just a ground buffered teleport dash. Converts all your momentum into walking momentum, and it's enough speed to get through there nice and easy. Well done, sub 3.
Yeah.
You can't ask for better.
Yeah, not really. And now we approach the final boss. The scourge of every pace, Iblis 3. Well, until recently. But still kind of bad. This guy has a whopping 32 HP. And the projectiles he throws at you are intended to be added to your total. Also, what are we looking at in terms of what current time is on the run?
On my
We
end,
currently have 40... It's 43 entering Iblis.
This will be your
Okay, I'll go for it then. Actually, I won't. No, I won't.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So this is RNG-less, as you mentioned. This is a new strat to me.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, restart. So would you like to explain what RNG-less Iblis 3 is?
Until, I think about last week, shout out to Maddie for finding this. There are apparently 2 puffs that spawn behind you. It's very new stuff. And so what we used to have to do is just hope that we grab something from these batches of puffs that he summons and throws at us, but we just use the extras that happen to be behind us.
A really big find, frankly.
Yeah, I know. It guarantees what would normally be a toss-up between a 2-minute 20 and a 3-minute 10. But unfortunately, we lose access to better RNG, like a sub 2.
Yeah, we have... It's something known as the... Wait, you can just stand there?
Yeah, you can do it on the other side too.
I've played this game for 10 years, and I did not know that. That's incredible. That makes the rigmarole... I've wasted so much time trying to... Oh my god.
I mean, you don't really
Sorry,
need to
I'm having a
dodge too
moment.
hard, but...
I've had to dodge too hard, and I've died to dodging in previous runs, so this feels crazy. This is like learning, like that there's nothing behind the flagpole in Mario 1.
Nothing.
That you can just run forever and die out of time elapsing. That's what this feels like. Like my world has been broken.
Unfortunate.
So we're gonna handstand him right here. This will do some damage. Blaze will die.
Spoilers? Okay. I was worried because some of these puffs might run into each other. And,
Okay, and then we're gonna wait for the God Puff. So time is coming up shortly.
yeah, time is going to end when this God Puff connects. About 10 seconds or so.
From a distance this time. Here it comes, Silver.
Wait for it.
He know he had to do it to us, but we had to do it back to him.
And punch.
Time.
GG.
That is a 45, 41 from what I can tell.
It's not bad, honestly.
The stream is a little bit behind on me for me
45,
on
43.
stream. Okay,
what we
I was
got.
guessing based off of what I saw because the stream is a little bit behind. So 45, 43, that is a very good time.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. I would like to take a moment to shout out the 06 Discord server. If you like what you saw, if you want to do what you saw, if you are interested in the goings on of what you saw, there is a Discord on the speedrun.com's page that is full of like-minded individuals that speedrun this wonderful game. Speedrun this wonderful speedrun. I don't know about game, but that's opinion.
Wonderful speed game.
Wonderful speed game. Definitely.
There you go.
Would recommend.
Yeah, no, definitely support the 06 people. I mean, even though I've retired, the 06 community is full of wonderful, amazing individuals, and some of the most supportive speedrunners I've ever met and interacted with. So it's much more accessible of a game than it may look at first glance. You might think, oh, it's such an awful game to play. Oh, it's actually way better when you learn how to run it. So
yeah, no, it is.
Make sure to follow Labrys. Make sure to support Labrys. I've been Focus Site. I'm glad that I got to commentate for you, and I hope the commentary was good and enjoyable for everyone. Make sure to keep watching. There's a lot more Sonic, non-Sonic coming up.
Smooth.
And it's still titled Sonic, okay, for the most part, unless you're Super Monkey Ball.
It's in the title. What do we have up next?
Wow, you say there's Sonic in the title. There is no Sonic to be seen in the next run. We're going to be having Tails Sky Patrol.
Oh my god, a Game Gear game. Let's go.
Yeah.
We deserve some claps in the chat for that.
We've got some good Game Gear love. We've got Triple Trouble after that. Well, not quite after that, but later on in the marathon.
Let's go, Triple Trouble.
We've got some Master System. We've got Sonic Chaos. So, yeah. Baller. Some interesting range of titles. So, folks, that was Sonic 06 with Lab. Definitely check out Lab and check out Focus and check out what we've got for the rest of this event, because we are barely halfway through our second day. We are going to be jumping from 2006 to probably nearer 96.
1996 is the release date, I think. Either 96 or 95. Let me check that for you.
Ooh. Fact checkers.
1995.
Almost. Wow. We're
would have been 10 years, but no, it's 11 now.
Throwing it back 11 years from when this game came out to Tails Sky Patrol Mohawk is going to be taking us through that. So do hang tight. We're going to be going to a little intermission. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves. If you can have a little stretch, then feel free to do so. Make sure you're staying hydrated. And yeah, we will see you in a little bit for some Tails action.
I'll take Iblis.